What's happening? I'm your host, Chris Arnold. Today, we are bringing to you again the virtual tool that I believe that we on this video together believe that you can't do without. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Rehab Estimator Pro. Either you've heard of it, you haven't, and we're going to give you a quick lowdown. But here's what you're going to get by the end of this call. You're going to get the practical applications on how we're doing this. And what I love about this call is we have Chris Buttram, who is utilizing Rehab Estimator Pro, has been for some time. And he's going to talk about practically why this has been so valuable for him, you know, in the past before COVID-19 and even more particularly now. And so it's one thing to know how great of a tool it is. It's another to actually sit down with someone that goes, dude, I'm out on the front lines. I'm doing deals right now. I'm making money. And this is a tool that's great to have in my tool belt right now. I've told you guys, I've been so excited my team has on utilizing this. So let's get to the meat. Let's hop in. Matt Hedstrom, you're the developer of REP, Rehab Estimator Pro. For someone's popping in for the first time, in a nutshell, tell us what this tool can do for our companies.
All right, sure. Thank you, Chris. Thanks for having me on again. This is awesome. REP, Rehab Estimator Pro, was developed actually for my own company, just with a bottleneck we found. So we're just unleashing it to everybody now to have the opportunity. But this is something that we use in our business for strictly for estimating repairs. This is not something this isn't a CRM system. There are two things you can't screw up in any deal, right? That's ARV and the repair cost. And so we have the MLS for ARV, and that's what everybody uses as a standard. I mean, there's other things out there that we can use, but the MLS is what everybody trusts. So REP is the repair cost that everybody trusts out there. We're trying to get this out to be the standard. Just like the MLS is for ARV, REP is for repair costs.
Yeah, and I love that. There isn't a standard for repairs, although we do actually have a standard for the ARV. And once you hear this, when I first heard it, I was like, how is this possible? How is there not a standard that we've gone this long? And as you've talked about, if you're new to the business, right, or even been in the game, I've been in the game for a long time, I still struggle with repairs because I'm not a handy person by nature. You need a tool, and the reality is we're taught how to find deals. We're taught how to evaluate potentially an ARV, but then we get out to a house, and I like how you said it, we kind of just pat everybody on the butt and go, yeah, by the way, you're going to need to figure out how much it costs to repair that house. Isn't that what you find? And then we just pull the number out of nowhere. Yeah. That'll take $30,000 to fix that house, I guess.
Right. It's 30 to 40 every time, right?
Yeah, every time. That's the go-to. Yeah, it's 30 to 40,000.
So yeah, and that's the beauty of it. This is checklist. You know, this is going in, and these are numbers that can be used across the country to get your takedown number, and they're accurate. They can be trusted. It's a checkbox system. You can send your bookkeeper. You can send your entire team out. You don't have to be a contractor. You just check the boxes for the things that you see need to be done, and you will have a very accurate takedown number.
So imagine that, being able to use a software system that reminds you through a checkbox format of everything on the house that needs to be evaluated. You're just checking the boxes, answering the questions, and boom, it's just tallying the amount. And this is done with accuracy. I know this, Matt, because when you show this to us, my team came after you on a call where they're like, okay, demo this. Yep. Here's a deal we have. We've already rehabbed this deal, so we know how much it's going to cost. Matt, prove to us the system works, and you landed within like $2,000. Right. And my team goes, okay, sold. You got it, Matt. That's excellent. So that's what this program does. And again, I love what you talk about. You can do it virtually, and we'll talk about how to utilize this tool virtually. And more importantly, you can do it in under 13 minutes, which is the goal of it with accuracy. Right. So Chris, you come into the equation here. Thanks for popping in today. How long have you been using REP, and why did you sign up? Give us a little bit of the backstory of how you even began to utilize the software. Why did you buy into it?
Absolutely. So I was looking for a different source of what I was doing. I had a couple different estimators that were out there, and they kept forgetting all the details, like the simple things like dumpsters, simple things like cleaning, simple things like as far as landscaping, stuff like that. I didn't like, they weren't checking off all those check boxes that Matt was talking about. So When I came to Matt Software, I just had 2 flips that I just lost about
Oh,
$35,000.
that's painful.
It was very, very painful. So I just, at the same time, it took so much time out of my way and so much energy, right? So it's not the money we lose, but it's all the aggravation of working with contractors. And Matt came to me. I looked at what he had, and we were having coffee, and I did exactly what you did, Chris. Is I put one of my rehabs in there, and for what I got it for, right? It's always, you can't go back in time. You can't purchase that property at a cheaper price. But what happened was it told me, with even knowing that I knew what I knew then, it was so detailed that it told me that I paid about $22,000 each property too much. So if I would have used the rehab estimator at that time, I would have not have lost that money. Now, I may not have gotten the deal, but I still think I would have. But at the same time, I would not have lost 30 to 35,000 on my last 2 deals. So by doing this, I've been able to implement this, and it's just like Matt said, it's very scalable. So my team, I have 30 people that work for me, 30 teams, and then I also do some virtual wholesaling outside of Wisconsin here. And I'm able to kind of conduct meetings with it. They put the information into the actual platform, into the rehab estimator, and it allows us to have a conversation, and it allows my team members to be educated on why we're putting these offers, and they feel a lot more confident going into that presentation, into that seller, and saying, this is why we're coming up with these things. So transparency was huge with me on this.
Yeah, absolutely. And you had the same experience. You had to test it first with some deal that happened to know that it was the real deal. And I told Matt, my team, we get pitched with tech all the time, and we're like, that ain't gonna work. That's not good. That's kind of BS. And then we saw this and it was great. So I think that's definitely something we had in common on our journey together. So the thing you said though, that just dawned on me, is looking at this tech and this Rehab Estimator Pro as something that really does affect the money in your company. Because number one, it can keep you from making a bad decision, as you talked about, which could lose you money. And then secondly, if you are doing a deal, it allows you to make better decisions. So Matt, I hadn't actually thought to this. If you could quantify utilizing Rehab Estimator Pro over an entire year, how much money would that save a company from losing, and how much more revenue would you get by making good decisions? I don't think you could quantify that, but that's an interesting way to look at it.
Yep.
It's
That
probably tens of thousands, if not 6 figures.
Right. I mean, you go back and look, it's almost embarrassing because we do this for a living. Like, we're not just sitting up here on a pedestal, right? I mean, I'm in the business. I'm doing this.
Yeah,
and I can calculate tens of thousands. Let's just be honest. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So people listening, Chris, let's go back to you. You're a customer. You're utilizing this. Give us the 3 benefits that you're experiencing right now. And again, tie in the current situation, right? Because people want to know, how is this going to help me with the current situation? So what are the 3 best application benefits that this tech has brought you and your business?
Sure, absolutely. So it's something that I've been trying to build with my company as we go forward. Is number one is scalable. Is it scalable? Can I teach basically, my 7th grader to do this? And the answer is yes. I've actually had him use it when I was coming home. I didn't have my computer with me. I came in there, and so yes, it's a 7th grader can use this platform to be able to come up with numbers. So I needed scalability, something that was simple that I could, like Matt said, have a secretary, have somebody else who doesn't even know anything about the business, be able to walk through and make an estimate and check marks. That had to be simple. So we had scalability.
That's good. And if you're new to business, right, and you're listening, the longer you're in, the more you try to move towards simplicity. Right. Everything moves naturally toward complexity. And when you get a software program that takes something complex and makes it simple, as you grow in business, you will begin to really value those things. So I love what you're saying. It creates scalability because it simplifies this process so much. As you said, that even a 7th grader could follow it and do it. I love that. What's number 2?
Number 2 is the comp values that it brings in. So what's nice about it is I have access to MLS. We have a broker on the side, as far as we have a team of agents as well. So I have access to MLS, but what's super nice about the Rehab Estimator is it pulls stuff that even agents can't get. And let me explain that. It pulls out for sale by owners. It pulls out some foreclosures that have sold at the sheriff's office. It pulls out comps that normally you wouldn't be able to see. So it brings in not only the MLS, but it also brings in what I call tax key sales, which is usually things that only a appraiser would have, which is really interesting. So it's a blend of comps. That's what I like about it. So the accuracy is right there with it.
So you're not getting just accuracy on the repair amount. It's also helping you get accuracy on the after repair value. Am I hearing you right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You bet.
All right. And I agree that needs to be consistent. That consistency is what makes us make money and not lose it. It's when something's inconsistent, then we get in trouble. And then let's talk about the third benefit for you guys.
So yeah, absolutely. So it goes back to speed and efficiency and how fast I can actually get an offer. And right now, with the sensitivity of the market, speed is efficient. You always have competitors, and the one who's first to it wins usually. So we could get an offer out to somebody within less than 10 minutes. That's what's great about this platform. Super easy, and you can get it out in a timely manner.
Absolutely. And how is this helping you maintain social distancing? How is this tool helping you maintain that level of being virtual?
Absolutely. So funny thing is, I kind of practiced social distancing way before this, so I was ready for this. So, it became down to with some of my coaches and people I work with is I had to be on my business, right? So I had to be at a level where I'm not actually going out to the property. So I had to get people working with inside. So we took that as far as, okay, what if my agent can't go out there? What if my team member can't go out there? So now we just closed on one yesterday that was COVID sensitive, meaning that we put in an offer that we had pictures taken of the actual property inside and outside, and it came on my desktop, and I was able to put a number together and give it to them. And that actually closed yesterday as a subject too. So I only went out to the property one time. I have basically an underwriting provision, which says that we have what the underwriter has to come through, which is me, to go through the property one time. And I was in there for less than 5 minutes. I just wanted to check out the basement. I wanted to check out the exterior. I wanted to make sure everything was fine, that there weren't any plumbing leaks or anything crazy like that. But the Rehab Estimator already kind of concluded what the repairs were based on pictures. So you can literally use this thing based on pictures. So it was a beautiful thing. I was at the property only one time.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. So what I hear is scalability through simplicity, right? The second thing is consistency. And then the third thing is the speed itself. So this sounds like for you, and I know you want to pop on because when we come across great tools, it's great to be able to pass those along. And so this has been an exceptional tool. So if someone's watching this going, is this something I really need in my business? Is it worth it? What would you say?
Absolutely, like tenfold. Like even, what's nice is even if you don't have a property or you're just getting into it, what's super fun about it, I think it's also a fun tool, is to try some trial runs, like go through your own house, go through a friend's rehab and just use it and go right on your tablet and put in the numbers and see if your friend paid too much for it. So you can give them some crap afterwards, So it's a tool that once you get to know it and once you get to use it, you'll be like a ninja out there. So absolutely, by far, I mean, my profitability by using this is up significantly. I went up on my rehabs about 2 to 3% on my rehabs now, and I feel like there's this extra line that Matt and the developers created, which was like miscellaneous, and I never added miscellaneous into there. So that's about a 3 to 5% buffer that I have it set to that I forget about. Oh yeah, doorknobs. Oh yeah, this. 5% of a property is not a lot, but that I was losing 5 to 6% just on that. You know?
Absolutely. Matt, Chris just brought that to my attention. I didn't think about it. And it's so funny you said what you said, Chris, about utilizing it as an education tool. I just got done last week doing a podcast on Bigger Pockets, and Brandon and I were in full agreement that new investors need to increase their ability to evaluate deals by practicing, and that you don't have to wait a year or 2 years to get good at evaluating deals. If you created a 90-day program where you just evaluated a ton of deals, you could get pretty accurate very quickly. And rather than waiting and doing deal by deal, go in and do a bunch of example deals. And Matt, it didn't even dawn on me till now that you can actually use this as an educational tool for yourself to get better. That's actually a new one. I didn't even think about that. So that's super cool. Now, Matt, wrapping up, man, I know you're offering a really cool discount on this right now, 70% off. Is that right?
That's right. For you. Yes.
70% off. And so where do they go and how do they get the 70% off? Because this is a heck of a deal right now. And again, this is one of those tools that is so valuable and so inexpensive, it just becomes a no-brainer, right? And so I think what we're going to see is, just like everyone uses certain tools like the MLS or QuickBooks, this is going to be something. It's like, remember a time when, you know, not everyone was using it and everyone uses it now. So it will become that. So how do they find it and what's the promo code?
You got it, man. rehabestimatorpro.com. And that you're going to go to a box where to register or sign up, and you'll put in REI radio after that. And this will drop the price down to less than $30 a month. If you see it normally, it's at $97 a month. And it's less than $30 a month, guys. And you can send offers right from the system.
No-brainer.
So, right.
It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. So Matt, wrapping up, any last thing you want to say? Again, this is your baby. I'm just praising you because your baby's helping my company. Chris obviously is saying this has helped my company, right? So we're all just kind of huddled around this thing that you've created, and we love it. Any last things you'd want to say about this software?
No, we nailed it, I think, but I love it. I love giving you guys the opportunity to use it. It's actually turned my head to just to see how much it is helping. This is I will say this without shame, and this is the hardest part of the business. Okay. Dealing with contractors, getting into estimating, we can't just, shirk this off as, oh, we'll just throw a number at this. It doesn't work. So I have over 25 years as a general contractor and experience. We constantly update the pricing. I'm personally available to answer questions as well about things that you find, through a Facebook group that we have. It's a private group for members. So you run into something like a pool in the basement you need to fill in. Well, it's not going to be on the tool, I can guarantee you, but I'll talk to you about it on Facebook and help you with numbers. So we want to make this an experience for everybody, that we quit losing money out there. Okay. We've got to sharpen a pencil on this stuff, guys.
That's pretty cool. Less than $30 for the tool, plus a community to ask difficult rehab questions to. That the consulting alone is a no-brainer. So that's awesome. Matt, thank you for your time. Chris, thanks for coming on. It was cool to connect with you. And I know before we recorded, kind of comparing notes and so forth about the value in our company. So definitely cool to see how this team's come alive. So go to rehabestimatorpro.com. REI Radio is the promo code, and pick up this tool to stay virtual and keep doing what you're doing. All right. Talk to you guys later. Thanks.
Thanks, Chris.